Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. It is March the 3rd, 2017, and March has sure come in as a lion. I hope it leaves as a lamb, as they say. The last few days we've had seesaw weather, 70 something degrees, back to 35, up to 65. And this morning I woke up and my wife says, "Joe, what's that on top of your car?" And I look out the window, expecting the worst. It was snow. It had snowed overnight on our area. So, yeah, it's been crazy. So, what better thing to do than to stay home, drink lots of coffee, take naps, watch movies with my wife. And now I'm downstairs and I want to show you the last couple of things that I did. Remember, I did the test with the ink set for the P600, intended, basically for the P600. I used it on the R2000, and here are the wonderful results, specifically testing that new gloss optimizer, and it turned out great. I spoke with the owner of Precision Colors last night, and this is coming soon. This set will be available once the carts and everything are in, and they do work on the P400, unlike the P800, which is giving everybody headaches. But let me tell you what happens if you open a pack of paper, and you all know that there is a little sheet of cardstock that's always included in your stack of paper. And if you mistakenly run that through the printer, this is what you get. Isn't that wonderful? I think it's awesome. Look at that. Unbelievable. So yeah, as you can see, Mr. Joe here never makes mistakes. Oh no, I never do. Right now I'm running some profiles. I don't know if you heard that little noise. That was my PRO-1 spitting out some paper. And I'm going to create some new profiles for the Pro Mat. I did that earlier, but I lost the profile. When I reformatted my older computer, that's where it was, and stupid me, and I didn't copy the profile folder in the hard drive to save all of those older profiles that I had. So I'm having to start all over again. But why not? It's always good to create a brand new profile whenever you get a chance, if you have the luxury to do so. Now, a nice viewer contacted me and asked me, "Listen, I need your address. I want to send you some ink." I originally wanted to buy a PRO-100, but then I later on changed my mind and I had ordered a 5-pack of ink. And he sent it to me for nothing, including shipping. So I really, really appreciate this. It came today, by the way, so whoever you are, you know who you are. I'm not going to mention names. Thank you so much. It arrived today perfectly. And so I will put this to work. I'm going to go ahead and order the black and the 2 grays. And at the same time, I'll get 6 gifts. I might go ahead and order just the 2 grays and then the black along with another cart or something, maybe something for the Pro-10, and get 12 gifts or 12 packs of paper. So those are the offers that we get in the USA. They're wonderful. Canon is doing some crazy, crazy offers whenever you buy ink. So that's what I will do, and I will maximize my expense of having to buy, to make up the last 3 colors that are missing. And that'll give me a brand new OEM ink set that I really did not have. Okay, but that's going to be awesome. And again, I thank you so much for that very generous act you just bestowed on me. Now, people are really trying to modify the cartridges on the P800, thinking that they can reset them just because the P800 maintenance cartridge is the same exact one used on the 3880 and the 3800. And for resetting those cartridges, you just use a regular resetter that I use for my T58s, which can be reset with this one. This is the QE589 chip resetter. You get it on eBay. Lots of sellers have it. And that will reset your maintenance card on the PA100 only, and you really need to have 2 maintenance cards. What you do is you remove the one that has been declared saturated, you pop the top off, you remove the insides, you pack it with whatever absorbent material you want, replace the top. Of course, you're going to clean it out nice and clean, and then you're going to reset the chip, and then you put it aside. Then you get a second card. It doesn't have to be a reset card, any card. You pop it in, and the printer will see the second card and will erase any remembrance of the first one from its memory. So then you remove that card, and when you reinsert the one you just repacked and reset, it will see it as new and full, or empty in this case. It will not work if you do not do that double card swap. Okay, you need to erase any remembrance of that prior card. All right, and then what you could do at that point is to repack that other card, reset it, and have it sitting around waiting for the one you just reset and repack to become saturated. And it is a wonderful way to just be green in a way, because you're not, throwing card after card after card away to be tossed in a landfill, and that's not good. All right, so back to the Red River San Gabriel that I bought from Rolls, wound up backwards and was giving me grief. I went ahead and did some more printing. I want to share these with you. These are the 12 by 17. And I did these on the PRO-1. I did a profile that I had, and the results are wonderful. I had to really make sure I have a little bit of a mark right there, so it's not a perfect thing. I had to really be sure that I had flattened this as much as possible. And for once, I fed it through the rear of the manual feed. That forced a border, top and bottom. Okay, so what I did was I just added a border on the sides, and I got your typical fine art type presentation here. And it is sharp as can be. The blacks are really, really deep and just wonderful the way they reproduced. This is just an image of a nice maple leaf. It's actually submerged in water. I shot this in Gettysburg at I think it's Marsh Creek, and it's awesome. I love it. The colors are amazing, and the little pebbles are so beautiful and colorful. But yeah, this print's wonderful. And I have made up my mind. I'm going to go ahead and buy some of the new San Gabriel and test it. I reread the comparison that I told you about, and I think I've made up my mind. I'm going to go ahead and get some. The guy did a wonderful analogy. Let me spend a couple of minutes telling you what he did. He's a big fan of Trader Joe's. And if you know Trader Joe's, you know what I'm talking about. They have very unusual foods, really wonderful stuff, great products. Not like your regular supermarket. It's really awesome. So he fell in love with this particular bread. And it was a Tuscan Italian bread, nice and crusty, and none of this bland, white, smooth bread. Really great for some hearty sandwiches. And he bought this for over a year. And one day he goes in to buy his favorite bread, and it looks different, but it's got the same name on it, but it looks different. And I remember the old bread because it only had like 5 total ingredients in it. This one had 11. So he goes up to the manager and asks him, "Hey, what's up with the this new bread?" "Oh, no, it's the same bread." And they would not accept the fact that this is a different bread made by a different bakery, and then rebagged as the same name. And so that's what happened with San Gabriel, folks. They, on their defense, they were having a lot of trouble with the mill to be able to produce consistent results. They were producing artifacts on the coating. In fact, that should have lit up a little bell over my bald head, because for a while they were selling so-called seconds sheets, but they were called seconds. And occasionally these seconds had little tiny black dots, which would have gone unnoticed had it been covered with image in, possible dark areas. But in this case of this type of print, there might have been some black dots on the border, and that would have been no good. So that's when they said, forget it. We just have to go to another source. And the other source had a similar paper, but not quite similar. And it actually feels like a resin coated paper when you hold it. The surface was again supposed to be also barium sulfate or barita, but not the same paper. And so if you had fallen deeply in love with this paper, you could not really accept that second paper as being the same or even close. Now, had it been named something different, then you could have probably said, okay, fine, there's no more San Gabriel, but I'll go ahead and try the Michelangelo paper or whatever. So that's what happened. And so that's how this guy was able to describe it. And he had a side-by-side comparison, very nice close-up shots of it. And it did indeed look entirely different. So now, since he has basically run out of the original 1.0 San Gabriel, he's now using the 2.0. And now that's his go-to paper. He actually loves it. And he's enjoying and loving the way the images are reproduced on it. Great color, great blacks, great everything. So goes to show you, eventually you will get used to that second girlfriend. So anyway, 2 more pictures here. This is one that I downloaded off of a free site. It's a beautiful dash panel from some sports car. Who knows what it is? Maybe you guys who are, Stutz. S-T-U-T-Z. Is that German? I think so, maybe. So anyway, I just want you to see how gorgeous that is. I'm going to tilt it sideways so you don't get blinded by the gloss, which, by the way, as you can see, is there. So yeah, that printed beautifully. And it was a very low resolution image, and I up-rested using Blow Up from Alien Skin 2, which does a magnificent job upscaling. It actually uses a process where it turns pixels into vectors, and so that way it's able to retain any detail that the original size of the image had. It's not magic, you still have to have enough pixels in there to work with, but it looks very nice, and indeed the reds are gorgeous. The blacks, there's a lot of tonality here in the reflections of the dashboard, and it picked them all up. I believe that's mahogany, maybe the wood paneling, and wow, that's really nice. Okay, now here is my friend, the Chinese girl that I shot the wedding for. This is her Chinese dress, and this thing must have cost $30,000. I'm telling you, the work on it was incredible, and I sharpened it using, again, a third-party sharpening program, and I sharpened it specifically for the size and for the printer resolution. In other words, the printing resolution that I was using. And again, unbelievable detail. Let me see if you can get a glimpse of this. This camera does not allow me to get too close without going out of focus, but I hope you can see what I am talking about. And this was shot with a silly D3300. Is it? I have it right here. I should learn my cameras, right? 3300 with a basic kit lens. Although I had some fairly good glass at the time, I was using the kit lens to be able to get some quick shots while she was getting ready. And so this was printed on the PRO-1 San Gabriel 1.0. And I am so happy that I still have 50 feet of this stuff to play with. And then after that, I'm going to do like that man who had to then migrate over to some other paper now. But since I'm testing all kinds of other papers, I should be able to find something that I can fall back on and call it my go-to paper. And I hope, regardless of what the brand is, once I find it, that's what I'm going to stick with. As I always recommend to people, don't go hopping around from paper to paper to paper. It's very confusing. You will never learn to master a particular paper. And so therefore I just say, yes, go ahead and do your testing, but Once you find a couple of papers that just blow your mind, stick to those and then master them. And if you have the ability to make your own individual profiles, make individual profiles for those papers. They will likely be better than the ones provided by the manufacturer. By the way, even the big name manufacturers sometimes make errors. I'll leave you with this one little comment. A person downloaded a particular profile for a particular big name paper, and it went onto a Mac, and he could not find it under Lightroom. And everybody is saying, well, you didn't copy it to the correct folder, blah, 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 blah. Then he said, well, I downloaded another profile and that one was available in Lightroom. So what could be wrong? Well, it was a corrupted profile. The naming configuration was done wrong by the profile producer. And so I think its color sync in the Mac could not see it. It could not see it because it was looking for a specific structure, I guess, and it could not see the profile. So as you can see, even the best of the best can make mistakes, and then they go ahead and publish these profiles, and they are not good. Totally unusable. All right, so thank you once again for everything. I have been enjoying the fact that every day I look, I have a few more subscribers, sometimes 20, 30, 40 a day, and that's awesome. That means more people are coming into this channel and possibly, hopefully enjoying the content that I'm putting out for you guys. And as you guys may notice, I answer every single comment that I get, every single question that I get, and every single email that I get. Now I want to touch really quickly, this is taking too long, PGI 29 cards for the Canon PRO-1 that I sell. I can't really sell to certain European countries because of their customs practices. And so at this time, the UK, maybe Western Europe as a whole, and Australia seems to work okay. Even New Zealand worked okay. And of course, Canada. But I've had problems with cartridges getting kept at the customs, lost, where I have to then reship. So any of you folks who would like to get into refilling your PRO-1, first of all, not only the problem I just described, but it will simply be too expensive for Precision Colors to ship inks overseas like that to some of these places, because they will charge you so much in taxes and export fees and import fees and whatever, all of those fees that we're not used to here in the US. They will add to your original costs, and we the resellers, we have to declare the real costs. It's not like we can under declare it. We have to declare the real cost or values. So you're going to get hit by this, and it just really makes no economic sense to do that. So I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. All right, so thank you once again. As I said, please subscribe, share, and like, and until the next time, everybody, happy printing. Bye-bye.